Salve, salve, galera! Boa noite, Cactogether 15! Muito bem-vindos todos! É isso! Vamos! E nesse Cactogether hoje o tema é maior do que um tema. É uma gravadora. Dirty Birde na área. A gente vai fazer em inglês, porque estamos aqui com Moody. Thank you for being here with us. And estamos com Glen, DJ Glen, lenda brasileira dessa cena. Enfim, DJ Glen tem uma história muito legal com a Dirty Birde, então por isso está aqui para poder contar tudo isso pra gente. E o Muti hoje é também de uma gravadora que toma conta da Dirty Birde, então tem um monte de coisas para falar sobre a nova realidade da Dirty Birde e o que vem para frente. Então a gente vai permear mais ou menos por esses assuntos. Let's go to English. I just said that we are going to talk about your position in Empire and with Dirty Bird, and then also Glen is going to tell stories about why has this connection with Dirty Bird so strong and so well. So let's start with that, Glen. Do you think it was a label who got your perspective when you were a younger artist, or how do you feel that you got this connection to Dirty Bird? Be deep on it, please.
I know. Okay. Hi, everyone. So what I have to say about Dirty Bird is, for us DJs, it's so easy to understand about the music and translate to the vibes, to the real vibe from Dirty Bird. It's like 20 years now. So everyone that is a DJ knows about Dirty Bird. And it was always super popular here in São Paulo, Dirty Bird,
That's true.
but only with the DJs. And the fight, I always say to everyone on Dirty Bird, so we need the Brazilians to translate to the crowd, to the people who goes to the dance. What is Dirty Bird? That's how we make our music, how we make our track, but sometimes it's not enough. Doing our tracks is always very worldwide. But no, we need to, like this, now it has a translation.
Right.
So this is what you need to do, the translation. How we're gonna make the translation? Bringing you guys to Brazil and working together and translating and developing a dance scene, and it can be super it's something looking forward. We can make a new reality, something like this is a kind of it's my purpose of life. So bringing the Brazilian, this is a difficult for us making this house music translation. It's not only Dirty Bird, it's house music translation. And then when we got this, now we have Brazilians super DJs. Like everybody knows, the Brazilians, they are the peak of DJs. And for them, it's super easy go outside of Brazil and fuck everything. Because here was made the future of dance music. This is what I believe. And it was completely based on American scene and Euro scene. And this is why I guess you are here now. So I was deep enough?
Yeah,
Deep enough for
deep.
you?
That was
Yeah.
deep. That was deep. That was deep. Thank you. That's also something that we have to bring attention. It's Ana Paula from Impact is bringing Dirty Bird to Brazil. So this is exactly what you just said. And we also need a Brazilian professional player to do so. So Ana Paula, do you want to say something about it?
Vou falar em português. I'm speaking Portuguese, I'm sorry. Mas tudo começou e vou falar muito rapidinho. Deixa eu vir aqui. Segura aqui, né? Eu sou manager do DJ Glen. E o Glen tem uma fascinação muito grande aí pela Dirty Bird. E viajando com ele para os Estados Unidos, eu conheci os eventos, Dirty Bird Events, in United States. E me apaixonei muito pela cultura, pela festa, pelas pessoas, pelo ritual que eles trazem no palco, enfim. E foi o Glen que me mostrou tudo isso e me fez apaixonar pela marca, pelo propósito da gravadora. E aí o Glen me trouxe essa ideia, Ana, vamos trazer a Dirty Birde para o Brasil, o Glen e a Nana, porque a Nana está sempre com ele em todas as viagens. E aí a gente, vamos se juntar e vamos fazer essa coisa acontecer. Eu me responsabilizei por 3 eventos, o Glen por 4 eventos, o Glen por Americana, porque ele e a Nana fizeram sozinhos Americana, o mérito é 100% todo deles, e eles me apoiaram nos demais. Então a gente trouxe a marca para cá para não só os DJs produtores conhecerem, mas nós, seres humanos, que vamos lá curtir a música eletrônica, os amantes da música eletrônica. Nós queríamos perpetuar também para essas pessoas. Então, esse foi o propósito de trazer. Nós estamos super orgulhosos com os resultados, porque as festas vêm trazendo um público muito grande e a gente também teve a oportunidade de unir artistas brasileiros que tocaram em todas as festas da Dirty Birde. E uma coisa que eu achei super interessante, que o Deron me trouxe quando a gente estava conversando, era quando vem festas gringas para o Brasil, normalmente são os DJs gringos que tocam nessas festas. E uma das coisas que o Deron me trouxe foi: nós queremos prestigiar os brasileiros que lançam na Dirty Birde, que vão tocar na festa da Dirty Birde no Brasil. Todos os line-ups foram de brasileiros que lançaram na Dirty Bird. Por exemplo, o Dani Cole, que é um que está nos line-ups, tocou em 2 festas. O Buja, que está tocando. O Glen, tocando em todas que ele pôde, ele esteve presente, porque outras ele já tinha data fechada. O Rei Doc, que é um artista que já lançou pela Dirty Bird, está fazendo seu 2º lançamento, também tocou. E isso foi uma coisa que me tocou muito o coração, porque a Dirty Bird entendeu que eu vou para o Brasil, eu vou respeitar o artista brasileiro e eu vou também dar força para o artista brasileiro. E isso foi uma coisa que me tocou ainda mais e me fez abraçar a marca ainda mais, junto com o Glen e a Nana, que já vem há muito tempo trabalhando e tocando pela marca, não só no Brasil, como lá fora. Então, eu estou muito feliz. I'm so happy to represent you in Brazil. E fico muito feliz de poder estar realizando essa festa amanhã no Crema, junto com os meus amigos aqui que também nos apoiaram. A gente está lutando muito para que ela seja uma festa linda. Eu tenho certeza que vai ser como foi em todos os lugares, porque a Dirty Bird traz essa energia diferente para nós. E eu espero contar com todos vocês aqui amanhã lá, tá? E é isso. Obrigada. Gente, muito obrigada.
Boa! Awesome. Well, she just explained about the purpose of doing it. So
I just want to say we were lucky to have her as well. We were very lucky to have you. You were the queen of putting all this together, and none of this would have happened without you. So thank you.
Nice. Well, now we want to know exactly. You came to Dirty Bird like a few years ago, and then maybe this brought a new vision to what the label is and what it represents. I want you to tell us a little bit about that story, and how you guys are working on it. Yeah.
Cool. So I'll rewind a little bit. So I met Claude Von Stroke maybe 17 years ago. He was playing at a party in Montreal. He was the opening DJ. No one was there. I was the only guy. It was at 2 p.m. and I was the first one there, and I dragged 10 of my friends. And he saw me in the crowd, and he's like, "How do you know every song? Come to the booth." We started talking, and we became friends.
Cool.
4 months later, I ended up meeting Justin Martin. 2 months later, I ended up meeting Jay Flip. And it was all organic. Nick Monaco, it was all. And then I met Andy, who was the CEO, technically, of Dirty Bird, and I started helping them with the marketing. And I was just their friend, essentially, for 15, 17 years. At the same time, I started working at Empire, and I was at Empire for 6 years or 5 years. And I was the senior vice president of digital marketing. And I went to Camp Out, and while I was at Camp Out, Claude Van Stroke and Andy were like, "Hey, we're thinking of retiring." And I was like, "I have an idea." So I went to Empire CEO, who's Ghazi, and I said, "Hey, we're a company about culture. I don't know a company that has more culture like Dirty Bird. When I went to camp out, I saw the community, I saw the people, I saw the tears, I saw the laughter, I saw the decor, I saw the costumes, I saw the teamwork. I'm like, if you're about culture, this is the right company. And I swear to God, I'll never forget it. He said, "Okay, go buy it." And I was like, "What?" I swear to God. And I was like, "I don't know how to do that." You know, he's like, "Figure it out." And it took a year and a half until we actually bought it. And that's when I met Darren and Ksenia and Nicole, like the whole Dirty Bird team. But all of them lived all over the US. They didn't work in the same office. So the first rule I had was like, hey, you guys all have to come work together in the same office. And right away, the company changed. Like, now the community is here. Before it was a community, but it was remote. Now it was in the office, so it was a real community, you know? And it has to start here so that the community is stronger across. And the way Darren and I have it set up is Darren kind of focuses on the present, on the past and the present, and I focus on the present and the future. So Darren tries to keep in contact like the heritage, and I'm thinking, how do we evolve the sound? How do we get younger people? How do we do cooler shit? Which is how Flight Week started. Yeah. Right? It's like, how do we? I was thinking, why do I have to wait for camp out? Why do I have to wait a whole year to do this? I'm like, why can't I have events every month where I can see my friends and go on a run and be part of a team? And then at camp out is all the teams around the world coming together. Versus, you know what I mean? So have the community all year long. And yeah, so 20-year anniversary, we partnered with 30 different partners from like the San Francisco, from the MoMA Museum to Levi's to like a whole bunch of companies, whole bunch of promoters. But honestly, probably the biggest one has been this partnership we've done with Brazil, because Dirty Bird started in the park, and it was 4 friends just fucking around, put speakers on their credit card, threw a party, rebellious, fuck the system. We want to party when we want to party. We want to play the music we want to play. And a lot of that is here in Brazil, and I needed to come here to see it. Like, music in Brazil is part of the culture. Like, everything from samba to capoeira to
Brazilian funk.
Yeah, every music is in everything you guys do. Yeah. It's not sometimes you listen to music and sometimes you don't. There's music for everything. Yeah. Even if you don't like someone, there's a song for it. It's like Brazil is a very passionate country, and I love how the culture is so. You can be in one city. The north is completely different than the south, completely different than the east, and then that whole city is completely different than that city. And it's like I've been here 3 weeks, and it's not enough at all, like at all. But luckily, we have a very good Queen tour guide who's been setting it up for us. But I think Brazil is the first step for the future of Dirty Bird, which is showing you where we're going. It's music for everyone who's questioning, why am I listening to this? I want to listen to different stuff. I want to do weird stuff. The first time I met Glenn, I told him, I play this song of yours all the time. He's like, I've never played that song. I was like, it's one of my favorite songs. He's like, I've never played this song ever. And that was the first time we met at Camp Out. And it's crazy. That's a song you made. To me in America, we love it. For you, maybe in Brazil it wasn't, but it was cool to understand it. Now I'm rambling, and someone needs to stop me and take away the mic.
That's great. You explained well. We understood it was it's such a cool story as well, to see how it developed, of course. But when Glenn started, when was that, Glenn? Tell us the first track, the first time you get in contact with them. Tell us.
Okay, as I told to John, I am also vinyl lover, and I always do research because was the way I found to grow my DJ work. Was as a good DJ, every good DJ has to search for music all around the world. And I got lucky to find Dirty Bird on the first release in Brazil, like 2006 or something. And then I started to buy every single release on vinyl from Dirty Bird.
Wow.
And I started to play in the middle of my sets, and it was the perfect crossover of the future
Right.
and the music which represents me, and the people likes it, and then Dirty Bird is a great label.
Right.
So just by the music, like you do with the demos they
Right.
send to you,
Right.
and listening to it blind. I use it to do it with the record labels as a DJ.
Okay, cool.
I listen to all this stuff blind. So I was the guy who brought to Brazil for the first time Lee Foss,
Oh,
and
wow.
he can say it to you because I got the Hot Creations one, the first press, and in the first press, everything on promo press.
Right.
So
Cool.
I like it to do it. This is how what good DJs does. That's it.
Uh-huh.
And then Dirty Bird was one of my favorites for sure. And once in 2000, I got a track played by every guys from Dirty Bird since Christian Martin and Von Stroke and Justin. It was called Boogie Mafioso. It's a track. It put me on the world map.
Yeah.
And then those guys in Mexico invited me to go for my first international tour on BPM Festival. This is you didn't know.
Yeah, I think so.
And then I was there. I played in an after party, super small gig. But I was there, and then I saw Dirty Bird party in some place. So I'm gonna go. And then I went there, and I saw Danny Days playing as a special guest, 2013. And then I knew him. And Danny, what's up? Oh, you here? Oh, you playing in Dirty Bird? And I love this label. Oh, sure, I'm gonna introduce you for everybody. And then Danny Days introduced me to everyone on Dirty Bird, even Justin and Von Stroke and everyone. And then I made some kind of friendship, and I was there rocking out. It was an amazing party. And then I saw Justin Martin became my favorite DJ of the world. So man, that guy was so good, was so perfect. Not the technique, not the scratching or this shit. No, real DJ, the DJ who feels
the room.
atmosphere and choose the right tracks and the right times. And he was way better than me. And then I became a fan. And then I got back. I started to work with Entourage. Nowadays are the biggest label, the agency in Brazil. And that time I say to the managers, and I said, man, this is the best DJ of the world. I swear. I'm super kind of criterious. I'm a boring DJ.
Yeah.
To realize he's much better than me just because he's real. And then you need to bring him to Brazil. And then we made like 3 tours of Justin Martin in 1 year together. And I made a party with him, and Discotheque is my label. And then we put almost 5,000 people with Justin Martin being the headliner in Campinas.
Yeah.
Is where La Rock is nowadays.
Uh-huh.
And then I don't know. I was just a fan. I didn't want to anything with Dirty Bird. And then like 2 or 3 years later, and then it was Bruno Furlan. He was every DJ in the agency and all the DJs around us started to become a fan of Dirty Bird also. I kind of introduced the label to my friends, and everybody loved it. And then came Bruno Furlan like a dirty boy. He was the first of, oh my God, Dirty Bird is so cool. And he started to make his own t-shirts and do his own advertising, marketing and merch of Dirty Bird. And he started the things. And then later, Nana forced me to send some demos that I never sent any demos to Dirty Bird. I was just a fan. Nothing. I didn't want nothing from Dirty Bird. So he forced me to send the demos, and then I signed the first and then the second.
When was it the first?
17 or 16, something like this. 15. I'm better of the date in another release. It's not mine.
That's fine. 10 years. 10 years.
Okay, 10 years ago. And then, many tours later, and then we made a dance floor on Kabbalah Festival.
Yeah, I
We made
remember that. I was there.
2015. Yes, you're right. And then okay, time. And when we sang to Barclay, the Another Planet, it was my turning point track. And then we sang to Barclay, and that point we played here in Sotrek Boa. The track was the best track of the festival, and later Barclay played in Space Miami. It was the best track, and he said in an interview to a major magazine, the best track of the year was Another Planet from DJ Glen. And then okay, things start to grow. I was invited to play in camp out, and then I played again, and I played in space, and played another camping camp out, and all the events. And then I brought to America the Brazilian vibes and our passion. So this is, and then okay, another thing I was talking just before the COVID hits. I talked exactly what we are doing now. I talked it with Andy to make it happen only with Brazilians DJ, and she said yes. Oh, let's do it. And then COVID hit, and hit it again, and then I never talk anymore, and it happened anyway. So the seed was planted. That's it. And then
Nice.
happened.
It was supposed to be. It was supposed to be. Amazing story. Like seriously, super cool. Because then it shows artists that you have just to go to whatever you like and be part of it, and then like breathe the thing, like be real part of it, because at some point you're gonna be part of it. So it's just more of a wanting and developing, and this is such a cool story. I know you, Glenn, since 2015, so it's been like a whole path that you brought to yourself, just going and listening, buying all the tracks, and having all the relationship you built. That's super cool. Now, man, what we want to know, what maybe the artist can do, or what can we expect from the label for the future? Like Brazil, for sure, is in your spectrum now. So what you can say to them, or or you can say about the label that it's going to come for the future.
Yeah. We're still in
Not
Brazil,
that
so it's still not behind us. We're still in the middle of it, but we already have plans on releasing um, a Brazil album that's going to come out in Q2 during the World Cup. I think that
Oh,
makes a lot of sense.
nice.
And we're also going to have a Brazil merch line, which I think makes a lot of sense. We should have like soccer jerseys, Dirty Bird, and things like that, especially around the World Cup.
So you could win the cup also.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd hope so. That'd be great. Either Brazil or Egypt, I'll be happy. And then, so the writing camp was incredible. We had 30 artists from a lot of them from Belo. Can I just say Belo now? Because I'm Brazilian, or I have to say Belo?
BH.
BH?
Yes.
Okay. BH. So it was really cool because we had artists from all types of genres, from people who had never written music before, people who've never done dance music before, and people who had millions of streams already. So it was cool to have everyone in the room. We have about 30 records. Out of the 30 records, I must say at least 10 are going to come out around the World Cup, along with that. And I think next for us is I want to do other countries. I want to do Japan. I think Dirty Bird Japan, especially clothing, would look crazy. It would look exactly. It would look crazy, and like the drawings would look crazy. The music would be crazy. I wish Japan would win a World Cup too, but no. And in terms of putting out music, like for the last 20 years, Dirty Bird has always been the platform. We never used someone for us to gain traction. We were always the label that you could be anyone. You could not have Instagram. You could not have TikTok. You could just send us a record. If we like it, we put it out. You use us for your music to reach more people, and that's never going to change. There's a lot of artists that now decided to go and have their own platform, but I think after the 20-year anniversary, we'd love to do, like, I want to do remixes for all the records that you bought vinyls for 15, 17 years ago. I think just reimagining them today, either in a modern sound or in a Brazilian sound or in a DJ Glen sound, would be incredible. And yeah, and like we're always looking for music. Darren listens to every single record and filters through them, and almost, a lot of the music that came out would not have existed if it wasn't for Darren. So yeah, if anyone ever has music, feel free to send it over. And like we like to bring all these artists to perform as much as possible and come. Like I'd love to bring Brazilian artists to Japan one time. That would be incredible.
I mean,
You know what I mean? I think that would be crazy. And the next time we come to Brazil, we should do the opposite. Bring people from Japan here and people from the US here and see what happens when you put all these people in a room. And yeah, that's it.
That's a great thing. You can say it. Go.
okay, can I make a question also?
No.
So it's good to say to people who are introduced to the label now, they're watching.
Yeah.
What was the artist that used the platform to be nowadays super famous? I know a lot, but you can say better.
I mean, so a lot of artists that blew up from the past, like people like Cats on Dogs, people like Eats Everything, like all these guys now, and respectfully in Europe, in their regions, even in Brazil. But like I've never seen us ever look like, because I also work at Empire, right? And I also worked with tons of labels before. Whenever you see an artist, you always have to go look at their socials, you have to go look at their content. A lot of times it's for followers, but a lot of times it's to see how serious they are. A lot of times, but what we've seen is we prefer giving people that catalyst where that makes them go from 1 to 1,000 versus from 1,000 to 10,000. That very first boost is a boost you never forget. Like the number of artists that come up to me and say, I will never forget you DM'd me when I had no followers. They'll never forget the first person that believed in them. Same as you. Yeah. Right? The first time you believed in a label, the first time you believed in Dirtybird, like that's my connection with Barkley. That's your connection with Barkley. Like you believed in it before anyone saw it. Yes. And to us, that's why we want to sign artists at that phase, not someone who's already blown up. And like we would never approach someone either and say, hey, can you do something for us? It has to be someone coming to us and being, I have the perfect song for Dirtybird, because you understand the sound, you understand the culture, you understand the community. Like one of the things I hate the most is having an artist come play, finish their set and leave. I'm like, bro, that's Dirtybird is like, you gotta chill, hang out, meet the family, have a drink, stay for the family set. We're the only ones that have a family set for a reason. It's like, that is the moment where you play music. Me and him went head to head at camping. That's the moment when me and him, we would play the worst songs for each other to see who could last longer. And it was great. I lost for sure. He kicked my ass. But that connection, that bond, and it's not about the crowd. That wasn't for the crowd. That was more for showing everyone that, that's what friends are. You make compromises. I wanted to play this song, but I'm not, because now I have to play this because you played this. It's compromising and it's having fun. And at the end of the day, all of Dirtybird's music is fun. It's all fun. And I just learned this today from this convo, but I think a lot of it also has to do with the vocals that we use are always very simple and minimal and easy to understand that it works. You don't have long, dragging vocals with very complicated English. So in Brazil, it makes a lot of sense. And I only realized when we started talking about it. It's
makes sense.
You know what I mean? It's easy.
Yep.
And it's fun, high pitch, like fun energy. But anyway.
No, amazing. That's great too, because you just explained the whole culture around it, and that's very cool. Because here at Cactus Records, I also do that, like trying to. If you don't understand the sound of Cactus Records, why are you sending me a demo?
Exactly.
It's like I get so pissed.
Also, I hate that you said. I hate DJs that come just to play and leave. I hate that.
Yeah, that's
well, Well, here's the
This
thing.
could be a track, by the way.
Sorry?
This could be a good vocal to the
This
track.
could be a good vocal
Hey,
for a track.
man, the motherfucker DJ Go.
But see, here's the thing. Here's the difference, right? And this is a conversation for everyone, right? If it's the difference is if you're going to a big artist's show, right? Like, let's call him whatever you want to call him. Big artist, let's say John Summer, right? John knows he's coming. People are coming to hear me. I know what energy I'm bringing, and you know what I'm saying? This is it. When it's a Dirty Bird show, it's not about a single artist. And that was one of the first things I wanted to change when we did this. It's about all the birds. And not just the birds behind the booth, in front of the booth. And so if you try and come and play your set and leave, it's not going to work. Because you don't know what everyone just went through before you got there. You don't know that what happened today.
And that happens that the guy that comes to leave and play leave
Yeah.
usually plays track that it was already played.
Exactly.
It was like,
You don't
what?
realize that, no, we've been through some stuff today. You had to be there.
Yeah.
And we all been through it together. And people come not for a specific artist. They come for Dirty Bird. When we announce our festivals, we don't announce the artist till like a month before. We sell out 3 days later or 2 days later. Because people are coming for that community, for that culture, for that vibe. Like, not people coming. It's the same thing when you go to the festival. It's not empty until the last DJ. It's full the whole time. No one cares. What matters is like the fun, the energy.
Questions, galera? Perguntas?
Perguntas.
Perguntas?
Traga um CPF pra ele.
Você tem? Peraí. Pode fazer.
Não é, eu vou falar em português, não é bem uma pergunta, mas é um elogio. A Dirty Birde, o conceito da Dirty Birde está na minha vida faz muito tempo. Quando eu comecei lá em 2016, eu ouvia o som, eu via o Glen com o Bruninho em 2019, eu vi o show dessa track boa que ele falou. Então, sempre foi marcado na minha faculdade de música, tá ligado? Foi a Dirty Birde, o conceito da Dirty Birde estava lá. E eu fiz alguns coletivos com uns amigos meus, que foi a Sweets and Treats, que foi... E já virou outras coisas, todo mundo se separou. Mas uma das coisas que a gente tinha como inspiração era a gravadora, a parte artística e, né, sonora, que sempre trouxe uma arte desenhada na capa, assim, tipo, trazendo uma vida visual para a música, além da sonora, né? E eu acho que isso está faltando no mercado. Eu acho que tinha como a Dirty Bird a inspiração, e eu gostaria muito, tipo, não é bem uma pergunta, mas eu gostaria muito de ver isso, tipo, nessa nova fase da Dirty Bird, tipo, essa parada artística visual que sempre estava ali e me criou muita pergunta, assim, muita curiosidade em saber mais a fundo.
So yeah, he wants Dirty Bird to give attention to the artwork and what it's done, because it was done in the past, and that's what it got his attention in the past, and this is not done anymore in the scene.
Are you going to translate?
Yeah, I can.
So every year we hire a specific creative director to take over all the artwork. And last year we hired someone from San Francisco because it was the 20-year anniversary, and we wanted someone from out there. Believe it or not, next year we're planning on having someone from Brazil. That was part of the idea. And I was inspired by all the graffiti that you guys have here, like the very long vertical lines.
Uh-huh.
So I'm trying to do a Dirty Bird logo like those long lines, and then having an artist draw all these characters. The other thing is on Christmas, we're going to launch plushies. I don't know what plushies are, like dolls based on the artwork. So your favorite Dirty Bird artworks, whether it's the Big Bear or if it was the spinning, all of those are going to be dolls, because we love those artworks, and it's really cool. Like each one comes in a box and you can't tell what it is, and if you put your phone on it, it goes to the song, so people know the artwork and the song. And
Super cool.
They're called birdies. And but yeah, the artwork is one of the most important, like one of the things that mattered the most to us is just Barclay did this for 17 years. I'm on year 3, but I promise I'm gonna get there, and you're gonna love the art next year. And by all means, like here's the thing: don't just send us demos, send us art. Like that's the thing. Like it doesn't just have to be that. If you send me a demo and art with it, I'd be like, yeah, this is fire. The other thing, the other idea we're toying with is next year, we're gonna ask artists to draw their own bird, and that bird would be on the, cause like to me, you know, so to someone, Dirty Bird might be an egg. To someone, it might be a chicken. To someone, it might be an eagle. So, like, why? Who are we to tell you what's the bird? So we're gonna let every artist decide and draw it. Especially like, and that was inspired from hearing Glen. Yeah, and like you know, because Dirty Bird, his fan base is getting older, and a lot of them have kids, and their connection with like Darren would never get a tattoo, but if his daughter drew anything, he would get a tattoo. And that's what made us be like, it's more about the raw, unedited, unfiltered, because that's what we are. It's like a very do it yourself. Like people make their own shirts, people make their own music, people make their own tents. So why not make your own logo? Why not make your own art? Why are we like being polished? So that's next year. But if you don't like it, message me and I'll change it, please. Like I want to hear your feedback.
Awesome, awesome. Mais uma pergunta?
I don't know if it's a question, but
Nobody has a
it's so respect to hear that you guys thought about DJs in Brazil to like having the party here, because a bunch of labels doesn't think about DJs, and I think for music is open up space for new guys, for guys that are raising that guys says that you said the first pump, and like so there's a bunch of producers in Brazil that just think about selling tickets, just think about like bring the big names and not even open up space for like new artists and not even release Brazilian guys.
Right.
They here just to make money. You know what I mean? So I don't think in music's that. So it's very, very nice to know that you guys just made all the parties with Brazilian DJs. That's like super, super awesome, man. That's very respectful and nice to come to a country and being the open up space for new guys. So that's so nice. Very, very respectful. And that's it. Just say that you guys was so nice to do that.
I'll say this last thing, which is the very sad reality of what it is. The reason a lot of labels don't come out here is because the revenue that comes out of streaming is so shit. That's the reality of it. And it's just, it really sucks. It's the same reason, like, you know, other regions like Africa or Egypt or whatever, because the streaming royalties are so low, it doesn't make sense for a label to come here. We're super lucky that Empire is an independent company and we don't have shareholders and we don't have investors and they don't tell us if it's a good idea. We're actually about the culture. And we got Dirty Bird to learn about the culture. We acquired Dirty Bird so that everyone could learn about dance music inside the company. You know what I mean? Instead of you have a whole team of 10 people come the next day, that's like changing the culture overnight. And so luckily for us, Empire was like, yes, that's the right decision. Not because you're going to make profits out of it, but because it really is a cultural move for both of us. I'm here, I'm learning every single day. I'm learning so much. Amount of songs I've heard that I thought were saying good words, but it's all putaria, putaria. I was like, now I understand that. But, you know, everything from the food to the culture to like how you guys go out, to how you guys buy a bottle, to how you guys drink your beers, to what time you guys show up to parties, like all of that, you had to come to learn about it. And now we understand, so we can figure out how Brazil can make more money in the future. You can't make Brazil a profitable market for music if you don't understand the market. You have to come here and see how people live and how people act. How do they even listen to music? I'm sitting here, there's 4,000 vinyls behind me. You know what I mean? Like, that's a crazy culture. Like, that's more than 90% of Americans don't, 95% of Americans don't have this. So, so that's why we're here. We're very lucky. Empire is really what paved the way for us. And before, Dirty Bird wouldn't be able to do it. When it was a mom and pop shop, they wouldn't be able to come to Brazil and do this. But now, luckily, we have this backing, and they trust us, and
But that's nice, man. Very good. Very good.
we're very lucky. Alhamdulillah, we're very blessed.
Very cool. Another question? Mais uma pergunta?
How do you feel? Tell me more about for example, I felt a situation on Dirty Bird always being underground and focused on beginning artists, and this is really fresh and really cool. But sometimes those guys can be big bigger than the label and being huge. And how you feel in the future Dirty Bird gonna deal with it? Because in 2020, 2019, I got like David Guetta playing Dirty Bird, and the old fans was like frying Dirty Bird on Twitter because it got too popular.
Yeah.
And then, how do you think in the future if it happens again?
Right.
How you keep growing, or I don't know. Tell me something about it because I really understand it kind of bitter being famous in pop, but in another side is super good also. It's inspiring to see tracks being super famous and in keeping the
Understood.
you understood it. Yeah?
So, first of all, I love that you said fans frying Dirty Bird on Twitter. I'm gonna steal that. That was great. Frying us on Twitter is incredible. But so just to understand correctly, you're saying in around 2020, artists like David Guetta were playing Dirty Bird records, and it almost went from underground to pop, right? And it was like fans were complaining. I think two things. One, I'm gonna go back to the point of saying it's less about Dirty Bird and it's more about Dirty Birds. And so it's more of like the community and everyone. And I think in the past we were only pushing the music, and now we're trying to push this new way of partying. Very different. When I'm like, we don't do clubs with table service with like girls behind the booth, and like we don't do that. That's not our parties. That's not our energy. That's not our vibe. We don't play like, when you go to a Dirty Bird party, 90% of the records are records no one else is gonna play. No one else is gonna play. And guess what? No one's also Shazamming it, and everyone's just sweating. Everyone's getting fried. Ooh, I got you back. You know what I mean? Everyone's just having fun. So I think as long as we're not just pushing the music, and we're also pushing the art, and we're also pushing the clothes, the lifestyle, the energy, the like friendship, all of that, it's a better look. I would rather more clubs start acting like Dirty Bird parties than us complaining that they're just playing our records. Does that make sense?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Well, that's a very good answer. I think we need to finish. Deep enough. That was super deep. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Moody. Thank you, Glen. É isso aí, galera. Muito obrigado. Cactogether 15. E nos vemos amanhã no Crema para poder comemorar essa noite. E é isso. Valeu.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you're a monster, and this motherfucker also.
It was so cool.
Thank you, man.